Okay, hi, it's Echo. I think a lot of really stupidly deep things that just kind of eat away at my brain. And so every now and then I just have to make a video where I can just let it all out and then not do it ever again. So I've been watching Adam Ruins Everything recently, and it's a really good series, but I can't let Adam Ruins Death go. It's just bugging me. I mean, I don't want to be rude or anything, but Adam, you kind of failed me. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like he ruined death so much as he just reinforced all of the backwards human certainty that humanity has had forever. So I would like to propose a counter-argument, starting with a brief explanation of the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics proposed by Hugh Everett in 1957. In the 1920s, the understanding of physics as we know it completely fell apart. Essentially, my understanding of what happened is that we started to branch into the discovery of wave-particle duality, that particles can exist in both a particle form and a wave form. I could have this totally wrong. I'm just an illustration student in the UK. Check my sources in the description, feel free. If you have a better way of expressing this, then please feel free to put it in the comment section. A man by the name of Erwin Schrodinger, who was clearly a dog person, didn't necessarily agree with that idea. To think that on a quantum level something could exist in multiple states and not have an effect on the macro world was kind of ridiculous. And to illustrate that, he proposed this scenario. If I were to put a cat in a box with a very complex death trap that would be set off by something on the quantum level in a specific state, since on a quantum level it exists in multiple states, it both would and would not set off the death trap, thus killing and not killing the cat. So therefore, until we open the box, we don't know if the cat is or is not alive in the same way that we wouldn't know what state the matter exists in. My understanding is that he was kind of trying to point out how ridiculous this is because a cat can't be both dead and alive in the box. It's either one or the other, and you don't know until you open it. In response to this, Hugh Everett proposed that maybe both of the outcomes happen, but in different parallel realities. And thus, the concept of the multiverse was born. Please have in mind that many very high up there physicists have talked very positively about the idea of a multiverse and parallel universes. I'll put like a shit ton of links in the description so that you can go through and hear it from them, people who actually know what they're talking about. So now that we kind of have a basic understanding, we can start looking at how exactly all of this pertains to the concept of death with one not so simple philosophical question. Did Schrodinger's cat die from the cat's perspective? In the version of reality where the cat died, she's no longer around to comprehend it, so it really doesn't make any difference to the version of the cat that survived. But Echo, I'm not a cat, why should I care? Think about it this way. If the many worlds interpretation is correct, then it would mean that there's a version of reality in which you died at the age of 3. But that version of reality makes no difference to your life right here and right now, because you're no longer a part of it. If you try and put that in the context of the future, then it means that there's a version of reality in which you are going to die today, but there's also a version of reality where you're not going to die today. And when you wake up tomorrow, do you think that you're going to care about the version of reality in which you died at the end of this video? No, because it won't make any difference to you, the version that survived. So the version of reality where modern medicine finally catches up and figures out how to cancel out aging and you get to live forever and be immortal, that's real. What about the version of reality where I get cryogenically frozen? Also real. What about the version where my consciousness is like transferred into a robot and I get to live out the rest of my life as a cyborg? Also real. Philosopher's Stone? If the atoms can physically be arranged in a space, then it could be real. That's awesome. No, it's not, because this is where it starts to get kind of unsettling. Imagine being forced to live forever. Death is terrifying to a lot of people, but to me, immortality is more terrifying, because immortality can exist in agony. If every version of reality does exist, as the many worlds interpretation may propose, the version of reality in which you live in perpetual agony is real. A version of reality, which is your absolute hell, is absolutely real under the many worlds interpretation. What about the version of reality where a mad scientist just keeps reanimating you against your will? What about all of the terrifying versions of reality in which you don't want to be alive? To me, being forced to exist forever is worse than being forced to stop existing. Because in a state of non-existence, you can't comprehend it. Death, for a lot of people, is a comfort. It's life's one true certainty. It's the rise and fall of YOLO. It's the feeling of, I don't have to do this forever, that the many worlds interpretation could take away from you. Because the real terrifying truth about death is that it's not certain. The one thing in life that we've always held as an absolute may not be as absolute as we want it to be, and you will spend the rest of your entire life, however long you may be forced to live it, having no idea whether or not you're even capable of dying, because the only way to prove that you can would put you in a state of non-existence in which you can't reflect on the fact that you were right. No, the sad fact of the matter is that you don't know if you're going to die, and you never will know. And that's how you ruin death. Whew, that was a sentence. Just have in mind, I'm not a physicist, I'm just like an illustration student from Arizona studying in the UK. Almost got my master's degree. I'm a nobody. This video scratches the surface of what goes on in my brain. I know that there are probably better ways to explain what I just said, particularly involving the many worlds interpretation. So feel free to just comment the out of the comment section. I'll give you like 800 awesome points for making it to the end of this video, because this was a video yeah, that exists now, and I am so sorry. But hopefully now I can just go back to art videos and stop having my brain be weighed down by these thoughts, because they're heavy. They're really heavy thoughts. This kind of garbage has made me totally insane, so if you think I'm insane, that's totally fine, because I feel insane. Like, what the heck is going on? Okay, cool. I think that's it. I will see you in December. Ooh, exciting things are happening in December. I will see you then. Bye! Are you gonna do it again? You got anything else? Nope, we're good. Ooh, nope. Never gonna stop. I'm gonna give you up. Don't do that.